You've been talking about writing an ebook for months, maybe years, but every time you sit down to write, you end up staring at a blank page and feeling frustrated. Honestly, most people never finish writing the ebook, but it's not because they don't know how to write. It's because from day one, they get stuck on the wrong problem. But imagine sitting down, getting the outline to your ebook done, knowing exactly what you want to write in every chapter, sitting down and feeling excited to write instead of feeling frustrated. By the end of this video, you know exactly what's blocking you and how you can fix it in one day. I spent nearly a year writing my first book. I must have written and rewritten that book 6 or 7 times. But then I realized the thing that I was fighting against was actually something that was supposed to be happening. And once I fixed that one thing, I had that book written, edited, and published in a matter of weeks. When I was in the 7th grade, I caught the flu. I remember taking all kind of medications. I was taking medicine for a cough, for a sore throat, for a runny nose, for congestion, for a fever. I was really confused because I thought that I would just take one pill and that would be the end of it. I would be cured. What I didn't realize was there's no cure for the flu. There's only the treatment of the symptoms. I want to share with you a common definition of imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome is when you doubt your own skills and successes. It's when you feel that you're not as talented as others believe that you are, and one day they're going to find out that you're a fraud. Imposter syndrome is like a sore throat or a cough. It's a symptom of a much bigger issue. So you focusing on fixing imposter syndrome is like taking cough medicine to cure the flu. The cough medicine is going to stop your cough for a couple of hours, but your cough is going to return because you haven't gotten rid of the virus or the bacteria that's causing you to cough. So the goal isn't to fix imposter syndrome. This is why you're stuck and you can't finish your ebook. You've been led by all the experts that tell you that imposter syndrome is the problem. But the truth is, imposter syndrome is the symptom of a much bigger issue. So the goal is to find out the root cause of imposter syndrome. And that's what we'll talk about next. As I said, imposter syndrome is the symptom of a much bigger issue. I spent nearly a year writing my first book, and I really believed that I suffered from imposter syndrome. But then I realized, or I thought about it, imposter syndrome didn't happen all the time. It was only in certain situations, in certain instances. Now I want to go back to the definition of imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome is when you doubt your own skills and your own successes. And I want you to focus on that word doubt. That's the clue. That's the key. Imposter syndrome is the child and doubt is the parent. Here's another way to think about it. Doubt is the virus or the bacteria. Imposter syndrome is just one of the symptoms of doubt. So to fix imposter syndrome, you need to fix doubt, and you can do that in as little as one day, and I'll show that to you next. But real quick, if you're struggling to write your ebook because you can't decide on a topic or you just don't know where to start, click on the link in the description below. Now, what I'm about to say to you is going to contradict everything that you've heard regarding doubt. You've heard that doubt is terrible. You've heard that doubt is the reason that you haven't accomplished the things that you want to in your life. You've heard that doubt is the reason that you're stuck. You've heard that doubt is terrible. You've heard that you need to erase doubt from your life. You've heard that doubt is a villain. You've heard that doubt is the bad guy. It's actually the opposite. It's the opposite, and I'm going to tell you why doubt is normal and why doubt is your best friend. I published 6 books and many other ebooks. And every time I sat down to write, a little voice inside my head would say something like, no one's going to read this. You're not an expert. You're not qualified. You don't have a degree. You don't have any credentials. That was a voice of doubt, and it was loud, and I would listen, and I would either stop writing or I would just put it aside for so long that eventually I would just quit. At the time, I too had been programmed to believe that doubt was a villain, a bad guy, that doubt was the boogeyman. First of all, the universe has never created or designed anything to harm you, not one thing. And this includes doubt. Okay, question for you. Do you doubt that you can drive to work? Do you doubt that you could pull out your phone and take a picture? Do you doubt that you can go to the airport, get on a flight to New York, and do it all by yourself? Of course not, because it's something you've done multiple times. Now, do you think you can quit your job, start an online business, and in 1 year be making $5,000 a month? Do you think that you could sell an ebook for $50? Do you think that you could quit your job and visit a different country every month for an entire year? Probably not. You see, you never doubt when it's something that you've done. You only doubt when it's something that you've never done. And this is natural. This is normal. You see, your mind is designed to figure things out. And when it doesn't have a reference point, when it's something that you've never done, when it doesn't have a way to determine or a path to figure out how to to do the thing that you say you want to do, it begins to ask questions. It begins to make statements like, you've never done this before. You don't know what you're doing. How are you going to do this? Have you ever seen anybody else do it? Is it possible? It begins to ask you a series of questions and statements. But what happens if you acknowledge those statements? If you acknowledge those questions? Nothing happens. Doubt is simply a series of statements and questions. Just a conversation in your head. The problem is you've been programmed and trained to believe that doubt has power over you, when doubt really is just your mind not knowing how to do something. But you take it from there and you allow doubt to stop you. And if you don't believe me, take a look at a baby. You don't believe that a child has doubtful thoughts when that child is trying to learn how to talk, or trying to walk, or trying to read, or trying to write, or as a child grows, trying to learn how to tie its shoes or ride a bicycle. Of course, the child has doubtful thoughts, but the child doesn't care. The child just moves forward with what it wants to do. That's how all of us were born. That's how all of us were designed. The issue is we've been trained and programmed to allow doubt to stop us, when doubt really is just our minds not knowing how to do something. And that's okay. As children, as infants, as babies, we knew you just keep right on going. Doubt is just a series of questions and statements. They're not designed to stop you. You just continue on and learn your way through the thing that you want to learn how to do. Doubt is simply a pause. It's just a moment to allow you to plan, to strategize, to come up with a pathway, to allow your mind to try to figure out what it needs to do to get to the thing that you say you want. That's all doubt is. It's just like a rest stop. It's not designed for you to stay there. Just pause and give your mind time to figure out a way. And guess what? You always figure out a way. You always have, and you always will, because that's what your mind is designed to do, to figure out things. The problem is when you approach something for the first time and you ask your mind to do it, your mind doesn't have a reference point at that moment. It needs time to figure it out. And you always notice when you give it time to figure it out, guess what happens? You figure it out, and you usually are successful in what you set out to do. The sad part is that people are profiting off of this misunderstanding about doubt. People are using this to lure people in to get psychiatric help, or to get therapy, or to sell a course, or to sell a workshop, or to sell some kind of motivational product or something. Doubt is simply your mind not knowing at that moment how to get to the thing that you wanted to accomplish. And now you know the truth. If you're tired of watching the days, weeks, months, maybe even years pass by while your ebook is sitting there gathering dust, click on the link in the description below, and I'll see you in the next video.